Hello guys, and welcome to an average shadow, an average shaman video, sorry, not average shadow, an average shaman video, and it's tips and tricks on the Ogre Kingdoms, from what I've learned in the campaign. In this campaign I am only 42 turns in, but I've done other campaigns such as a Grease's campaign, which I did terrible. I learned pretty much everything I need to know to actually, because this campaign's actually been very successful with me. I've just killed Corn and gained my first soul. It was a really good fight. Really recommend taking some units and that with you. But yeah, tip number one: camps is the main thing. Now, camps, and more camps. The only advice I can give is research technologies which puts the camp limit up by 1, because the more camps you have, the better you will have. You will have more units. You unlock your late tier units in the camps, and you get a shed load of income from the camps, i.e. from the camp buildings. At the minute my camp is here, and it is getting me 800 gold per turn. Now, it can get a maximum of 1,000, so then you do the maths. If you've got a couple of camps here and there, you are absolutely raking it in. And then eventually, I am just running about with a solo army with Scrag at the minute, but give it another 5 turns and I'll be able to easily afford another top to mid tier army, which this guy here is going to do. So just to deploy your camps, you can deploy them anywhere. What I usually do is the first one is, because in this campaign you start with there, you take that. I skipped past here and I planted it there. So at the start I farmed these 2 areas for experience and extra meat. You don't have to do this, it's up to you, but I personally put some camps in your starting area. And then once you start to go out, my next camp I'm going to deploy here. So it'll allow me to farm Outdorf and Aleheart with Scrag, and that's what I'm going to do. And then it'll also, when I'm in this valley here, as long as you are in this little circle here, hopefully you can see it, it's like a little dashes. As long as you are in that, you gain the benefits from this camp and you can recruit from this camp. Another thing is meat. If you are near a camp, you generate meat. So what I will do eventually, because Scrag's just come off on Scarbrand, I'm getting rid of this trait here, which you do by going into a capital city or any building with the big rat trap, because it gives a +50 to reduce. So you capital the thing with there. I'm going to get Scrag over there so he can recruit the more higher tier units. And then I'm going to go and pillage and plunder this. And I'm also going to up my meats, because at the moment my meat's going down because my army upkeep. So he's going to use that as a bit of a buffer to get a load of meat and go out on a pillage before he has to come back or go into a camp area. Units, which tip and trick number 2, basically go with what you're comfortable with. Scrag ups Gorges a lot, so I've gone mainly for Gorges. Where is this that he traits? Gore Harvester, upkeep for Gorges, so it's 50% reduction for Gorges straight off the bat. So they are ridiculously cheap. They are anti-infantry vanguard deployment, and they do not rout. So for me, Gorges are just a beautiful unit. You can buff them up really nicely. As you can see, them stats are really nice. But if you want to, you can go with Iron Bulls and something like that. You can go with whatever you want. Ideally, with the units, and this is tip number 3 as well, merged into 1 and 2, they're very aggressive ogres. You get a lot for charging and cycle charging. Don't let the enemy charge you. You charge them. You know, even like I use these as flankers, while these will mid charge, and then I just do like a bit of a pincer moment. And I quite like these Sabertusk pass because they can run really fast and then they can go out the back, and then before you know it, it's an absolute madness. And then I get Scrag in to do some spells and I'll just annihilate any army. But they can play semi-defensively from what I've learned. I have lost some units with that thing, but the Iron Belchers are a whoa, they are unit killers, especially if you get them up high. Absolute unit killers. They can defend themselves a little bit, but it's not really their playstyle. You want to like just fire off your massive cannons into something. They're armor piercing as well, so anything with armor you're just going to destroy. And the Noblar Scrap Launcher, again, is very, very tasty damage and stuff like that. They do have a better... where is it? They do have a better cannon. Where is it? It is the... Where the hell in God's name is it? It is the Iron Blaster with a 1.1k missile damage. That is tasty damage. So they can play defensively as well, but you make sure that even if you play defensively, like I play mid-aggressive to defensively, make sure you're still getting that Ogre charge. Make sure you're still charging in your units before they're actually taking damage. I'm just going to do a quick turn here before. The campaign is tip number 5. Play about with it. Just play about with it. What I expected, I didn't really like Greasus. I don't like the way he plays. He's a cool lord and he's a powerhouse, but I really like Scrag the Slaughterer because he's an absolute beast in melee. He can heal himself with the Butcher ability. I mean that's Ogre Kingdom's wide, but he's just an absolute powerhouse. So have a bit of a play about, find one that you actually like, and then proper commit to a campaign. Tip number 6. No, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Tip number 5. Can't even count my whole notes. Settlement and provenances. As a rule of thumb, I tend to only stick to 1 or 2 provenances, and then I will then go out and do my own thing. I'll just pillage, route, sack, and then come back here. I am going to take Altdorf because I think it's funny if Ogres gained Altdorf. Altdorf, whatever. The Empire capital. So I'm gonna claim it, and that's gonna be my 3rd and final provenance. But if you wanted to put in the map to Ogre Kingdoms, you probably quite comfortably could with the Ogre Kingdoms. They've got some nice buildings that reduce that increase control, reduce corruption, and so on. But I suggest staying to 2 to 3 provenances max, and then going from there, and then going out pillaging and sacking and ransacking and gaining money and upping your camps and main cities. Going back to tip number 4, tip number 1, sorry, with the things, I would gain the money one and then just go straight into your units. Eventually I am going to destroy this building. Every camp gets this building straight away, but seeing as how that my settlements gain this building, I think it's personally a waste, but I'm going to build it on my next turn, or start building it. So I'm going to destroy this and then build another thing in there that will get me, I don't know, some meat or something like that. So it's totally up to you. Tailor your camps to what you actually want and what you actually need. The last tip number 6, is upkeep. This ties in with camps again, but Ogre Kingdoms have some very nice upkeep reductions. Like nothing's really, even my lead belchers are only costing me 240. This whole army here, I would say, is very mid-tier. These are mid-tier to early, I would say, units. These are very early units. These are mid to high units. These are mid units. But it's not costing me that much. With other campaigns that I've played, such as Kislev and stuff like that, if I was to have an army of mid-tier, this would be well into the 4,500 margin. Well into the 4,500 margin. But to get the best out of it is your camps, especially in this area. These units here are defending this camp. Now, what some people do is they get a lord to stand next to it, and while that lord's not being used, they put all the units into the camp, and you get so much reduction. Lead belchers that were costing me 240 in Scrag's army is only costing me 28 gold. per turn if I put it into a camp. So if you're not using an army like this, like I've done, because this guy, I don't even know why that guy's over there. I don't know, I can't remember why I brought him over there. But this was his army. It would have been costing me about nearly 2k, maybe 1,900. Whereas now it's not costing me anywhere near that, and the main guy is free to roam about. So yeah, use your camps to reduce your army reduction, to just allow you them turns to build up your income again before you start going out and pillaging. That's all my tips and tricks. That's all my tips and tricks, guys. It's not really probably that a seasoned person would know, but it would avoid you, like me. I did a Greases campaign, I got like 50 turns in, and I was annihilated because I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea to manage my camps, my infrastructure, my provenances. I was expanding too much because I'm used to Total War 2, where you can do that. You can just keep expanding, and as long as you use some towers and a bit of economy there, you know, you'd be absolutely fine. Whereas this game's a bit more, you need to consolidate what you've got before you spread out, from what I've found anyway. So like, if my tips and tricks can help you avoid that 50 greases you know, wipeout thing, then it's going to save you about 4 hours. So hopefully you know, the tips and tricks will help. But yeah, and the last tip, again, use your heroes, guys. Get your heroes as quick as you can, lob a 1 or 2 in an army, and use the rest to bump up your infrastructure, control, corruption, so on and so forth. They are really, really good. They're really, really useful in this game. I didn't really use them in the second game because, yeah, they were useful, but they weren't really that good in combat. So I tend not to use them in the second game, whereas this game, I absolutely love them. I don't know if they've got a bit, I don't know if the heroes are just generally built a little bit better, but they can survive a lot more and stuff like that. So it's very nice. Anyway, that's all the tips and tricks I have for you at the moment. I am still playing, I am still learning, and when I figure some tips and tricks out for other campaigns and fractions, then I will let you know. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching. If you do like, a quick cheeky like and a follow or a subscribe would be absolutely lovely. But if not, and you just enjoyed the video and you just want to watch it and be like, I don't want to commit, and that's absolutely fine. Respect it. But as always, thank you for watching, guys. Average Shaman out. Thank you.